Today we're going to be teaching the good people how to save some bread. As we all know, the price of everything is ridiculous. Haircuts cost me at least $50 to $60 every 2 weeks that I usually get my haircut. And I decided that enough is enough. Let's just do some math here. Let's just say every haircut is $60. There is 52 weeks in a year. Let's just say I get my haircut every 2 weeks. 60 times 26. That's over 1,000 USD spent on maintenance for something that I can do myself. And before we even get started into this video, I am not 360 Jeezy. I'm not the wave process. I'm not Nick Wavy. I'm not none of these wavers. And yes, I'm in the YouTube community for the wavers. I used to be watching these while I'm brushing in the mirror. So it's nostalgic to see me doing it and kind of repeating the same thing that I used to be. And the people who know, you're really a waver. You watch wavers cut their hair, brush their hair to pick up the patterns and the techniques to get your waves to look like theirs. But I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to look like 360 G's. I'm not here to look like I got the best waves in the nation, which would be cool. I would love that. But right now, I don't need that. So a decent cut will get me by. And I've learned that from the pandemic, the beginning of the pandemic, when barbershops was closed and everything, I bought some clippers. I started cutting my hair. Yes, in the beginning, I was messing myself up, trying to do a fade and not knowing how many lines to put, how dark to put the line. And I ended up with a couple bowl cuts. I didn't push my line back on the side before. So I've done it all. But hair grows back. Practice it now while you got the hair is what I told myself, and not take the risk later on in life. And I'm paying, $60 a cut every 2 weeks. That price add up so crazy. And if y'all didn't know, you got other stuff to plan. So I need to spend my money wisely. And this is where I feel like I could substitute that payment for something I can do on my own. So the real numbers for me that I've saved, I haven't got 3 haircuts since October 19th of 2025. So October 19th, December 13th, which was my birthday, and then January 31st, which I had a special surprise the next day. So I had to get clean, you feel me, official for that. But anytime else, I'll be at work and at home or at the gym. I don't really need to look too crazy like I'm out in the clubs or nothing like that. I'll be at the house with a do-rag on. So for the most part, it's just more so being clean and not looking scruffy going to work, and me being an accountant sitting at the desk looking rough every week. And I like to look decent. Since I decided to start cutting my hair more often, I have saved almost $500 of not going to the barbershop every 2 weeks. Now I have gotten crispy for a couple of situations, but that was my birthday, my girl birthday, and the proposal. So those are like specific events that I would like to look a little bit more clean. But for the most part, I feel like I do a decent enough job that I'm happy with it and I look clean. The clippers that I have are the Andis Masters and Andis Liners. The traditional black household clippers, is nothing special. It's nothing too expensive. And the purchase up front, I think I bought these for a pack, and this was around the pandemic. So I can see what I paid for those, but it literally has saved me so much money from that time just having them. And not necessarily even getting so perfect that I don't need a barber at all. I still want to have the ability to go get clean from a professional. But at the same time, if I'm able to minimize that cost and that expense every year or every month, every couple weeks, that would help a lot. And every penny counts. As I'm looking online right now, the Andis Masters clippers are $96 and the trimmers are $65. So for about $180, you can get that package. I think over time, I would like to get better. I know there are a lot of things that I can fix. That's always the case with anything you start. As you see me physically struggling in real time to flip my hands on the right side, do them on the left side. And it's so tough to do that naturally. I had to literally flip my hands back and forth. because it's not a natural feeling for me to do it on my left side. And after a while I could tell that I was gonna mess up, so I turned the clippers off, which I should have did in the beginning. But I was trying to get my hand placements right to where I would just not push my line back. For me, I just would like to get to a point where I don't need to go to the barbershop unless it's a real special occasion. And even if that, maybe I get good enough to actually start cutting my hair on those events. At the same time, I just feel like I want to learn a new skill, and this is something that I told myself that I would perfect over time, or get better at, I should say, not perfect. But to post this in a sense of showing my progress from how I know I used to be back in 2020 versus to 2026 now. Practice a lot, I messed up a lot. At the end of the day, this is something that I'm glad I started, and I'm glad I'm wanting to get into it, because it's something that I'm doing it myself. Like, I have control over how I want my hair to look, how I take care of my hair, how I present myself. And I can make it look good. I can make it look decent. Maybe not, like I said, the whole barbershop style. It is not something easy. So I will say at the beginning, I practiced when it was in the pandemic. So I didn't have to go nowhere. I could mess up and kind of be all right, put a hat on or whatever. Took the risk early to where now, you know, when I'm out at work or whatever, I'm good because I got a little bit more confidence in myself of me doing it for a longer period of time. For starters, I would recommend everybody just looking up a video on YouTube saying a self-cut, whatever kind of wave that you got, whatever kind of style that you got, you just try it. And yes, it's probably gonna be trash in the beginning. But if you're looking for the long haul of trying to save some bread where you can, and you manage your hair well, specifically cutting your hair as a waver, if you manage your hair well, these cuts won't be as drastic for you to do because you're keeping up with your hair in between times. See, I'm doing a lot of combing, a lot of brushing, and I know my waves still got forks here and there in the corners and in the back and stuff, but I do take care of my hair, and I try to keep it as clean and shaped up as possible. And learning how to cut my own hair allows me to do that, because if I need to go to an event real quick, if I don't feel like scheduling an appointment with my barber, driving all the way to my barber, which is 40 minutes away from my house, that stuff takes a lot of time and money that I can save if I figure out how to do it myself. Now I'm gonna see how much I can save this year by limiting the amount of haircuts, not eliminating, but just limiting the amount of haircut trips that I need to take to the barber, and give them my hard-earned $60 every 2 weeks for the haircut to last maybe a week, maybe a couple days. And the next step on my list is to fix my skin from these ingrown hairs. My fiance put me on this skincare treatment that I'm about to try, but these ingrown hairs gotta go. They are so irritating. Lastly, I'll put all the equipment and everything that I use in the description. I'm no expert, but I do have some type of knowledge from watching enough videos from barbers doing self-cuts or people working at barbershops of what to keep, what to have, what's like the basic necessities. And then from there, you kind of do your own research and get as crazy as you want to. But for the basic necessities, it's not much that you need. And for the waivers out there, you know about the comb sessions and the brush sessions. Don't always just brush. Get some combing in to lengthen your waves and really get your pattern in there. If I went backwards with this comb, my waves would still be there. That's just because I've trained my hair for so long to actually lay down and stay that way, regardless if I mess it up or do whatever with my hair. There's no cheat code to this. I know there's no shortcut. Over time, the cuts will get better for me, and I'll learn each time. There has to be a starting point, and from there you have to get better each time. It's not gonna be a one-step process. You just gotta get started and let everything go from there, and just put in the time. In the comments, put down how much you pay for a haircut. I want to know. I'm very curious on how prices are on the other sides, other regions of the country. For the people with waves, I'll put the videos down in the description that I've watched a countless number of times to study and kind of pay attention to how they cut their hair and kind of replicate it. And I even watch them sometimes as I'm cutting my hair to remind myself how to do what I'm doing. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. I'll catch y'all in the next video.